Hi, in this session, we're going to be doing a practical exercise on animation. So I'm just going to unhide. I just drew a small car, just a very cartoonish car, and I'm going to animate it on a path. I'm going to have some kind of animation, and definitely I'm going to introduce the linking parts where I can link objects to each other. So I'm just going to start with this car, and as you can see, it has 4 wheels. Okay, each wheel, the pivot point is in the middle, so when it rotates, it will just move. Now, all I need to do is I'm gonna go to time configuration. In my case, I'm gonna go PAL, and I'm gonna go end time to be 200 frames, which is around 8 seconds, or technically 8 seconds. Now, I'm just gonna make my wheels turn around in here. On the 0 frame, I'm gonna turn on auto key. Shortcut for auto key is letter N, by the way. 0 to 200. I'm gonna make this to rotate. Okay, just gonna turn on this. Just gonna see how much it's going to rotate. Or let's put a value. It will make things easier. So I'm gonna rotate on, in my case. Okay, so I'm gonna be rotating on Y. So this is Y, but I'm gonna be minus Y. So I'm gonna go minus 2000, for example. I'm gonna select the other one, minus 2000. As for these, I'm gonna go plus 2000. Oh no, actually minus 2000, and this minus 2000. I'm just inserting this value on the 200 frame, so that's going to happen. So I'm gonna play. As you can see, our wheel is gonna be rotating all along. Fine. Now, what I want to do, I'm just gonna create a road. That's a simple road. I'm gonna create a line and a curve. That's it. It's gonna go from top. So I'm just gonna create a simple line and a simple line. That's it. That's my previous line. I'm just gonna delete it. I don't need it. Okay, and I'm gonna just go in here. Gonna select this curve, and I'm gonna fillet it, or I'm just gonna turn it into. I'm just gonna make it like this. Perfect. That's my curve. Now I want to transform this curve to a road. Just gonna copy this. I'm gonna copy it, and I'm gonna go to line. I'm gonna go rendering. I'm gonna go enable a render enable viewport. I'm gonna add rectangular thickness. My thickness is going to be, let's say, 1 centimeter, and this is going to be 300, or maybe less. It's going to be less. Let's say something like that, 100. Okay, because I'm not working on real scale. So, and this is going to be 0.1. I want it to be flat. That's it. So now I have this curve, which is the line, which I made the road with, and I have the original line, which is in the center now. Okay, now I need to link these together. When I move this car, I want the wheels to move with it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to select 4 wheels. Okay, I can group them together, but in this case, I'm just going to link them. I'm going to use this chain, which is select and link icon. And this is to unlink them. So click and drag, I'm linking them to the car. So when I release, now the car is going to be moving and the wheels going to be following. So at the same time, when I play, if this moves, the wheels will still rotate all the time. Okay, now I need to constrain this to the curve. So I'm just going to select this, the line, the car, animation, constraints, path constraints, and I'm going to link it here on this line. And as you can see, now this car is going to be animated on this curve. It won't be following, that's for sure, but another thing to mention, you can see that the car is just penetrating this one. Technically, what's happening is the pivot point of the car is just stuck on the curve. Not a big deal. One of the things you can do is have the pivot point on the bottom. So I can go to my pivot point, affect object only, and move my object where I want it to be. Okay. In this case, it's not really good because because they're linked together. So if I move, the body is going to move, but not the wheels. But what I can do is easier. I can just hold the curve and make my curve a bit higher. So I'm just going to see it from here. I'm going to move it on Y. And I'm just going to make it visible. So just make sure that the wheels are exactly on their location. Perfect. Now if I play this, everything will be good. Now, one more thing to do is basically make this car to follow. So I'm going to make it follow. So I'm going to go Motion tab. I'm going to go down, follow. And as you can see, it's following the opposite way. It's going backwards. So I'm just going to flip my x-axis. So flip it. It's going to be forward. Now everything is going to be perfect. And I can see my car animating on, as you can see, the wheels are rotating at the same time. So it's going to be rotating and perfect. Great. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a camera rotating around this car. Okay, so I can see it from all directions. Just going to go to create a shape. I'm going to create a circle just around this. Okay, I can just make Shift A to make it 100% accurate. Just going to make it a bit above, something like that. Okay, this is where the camera is going to be on the curve. So I'm just going to make it a bit bigger. And now I'm just going to have my camera. So create camera, physical camera. I'm just going to have a camera anywhere. So the target camera, I want it to be aligned to this car. So Shift A on this car. I'm going to make it a bit higher. So I don't want it to be low. And this camera, I'm going to go animation, constraints, path constraints, and on the curve. So now this is going to be rotating along the curve and the car is moving. So what I can do to make them to go together, I'm gonna just link this to the car. And now they are linked together. As you can see, they're going together. But now there's another problem, is that the target is still in its place, but the camera is moving correctly. So all I need to do, I need to link also this, the target, to the car. So now it should be okay. Let's see. Perfect. Let's see the camera, what's going to be seeing. This is the camera. That's what's the camera seeing. Okay. I think I'm going to make the curve is a bit bigger. So I'm going to go scale. I'm going to scale it outward so I can see more of the car. And that's it. I'm going to play it. I'm rotating around the car while the car is moving and rotating and doing the curve and whatever. Perfect. Now I can see everything I want as I want. Okay, great. Now, it's gonna do some other kind of animation. I'm gonna add a sphere, a cylinder, let's say, in here, and I'm gonna add a sphere on top, which is going to be my tree, as I've done in previous session. So I'm just gonna have this, and I'm gonna have this to be brown. I'm gonna make the floor to be gray, maybe. Okay, now what I need to do is I'm gonna attach these together. Okay, so I'm gonna just assign material to them, because if I attach them with color, they're gonna have the same color. So I'm just gonna give them different materials. So I'm gonna have this to be kind of brownish, something like that, and this could be green, same as the one before. Great, lovely colors. So now I can just add any of them. For example, this, I'm gonna add edit poly to it. I'm gonna go attach. I'm gonna attach this part to it. Okay, so now it's asking me what I want to do with the material. So I'm gonna match material ID to materials. So every material is gonna remain the same, but now they are attached, as you can see. Now I'm gonna just select this. I'm gonna add bend to it, and I'm gonna animate something like that. Okay, so what I need to do is just animate auto key. I'm just gonna make it let's say 20, gonna go 90 degrees or maybe less, 60 degrees, and then the other 20 or 60 I'm gonna go minus 60 degrees. Okay, and then go back to its place. So I'm just gonna copy these. So 60, and then I'm gonna add 40. So it's going to be 100. So it's going to be like this. Okay, so it's going to be rotating all the time. I can add definitely more keys. So if I want to add more keys, I can just add one more key. It's going to be something like this, and perfect. Now I can just select my trees and I can duplicate them. So this is the first one, that's going to be the second one, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, so I'm just gonna rotate them in space just so they are different. Okay, I'm just gonna move more and more and more. Okay, I'm just gonna add two. Perfect. Now all I need to do is just select all these trees and copy them to the other side. Okay, I'm gonna delete this, and those two trees, I'm gonna just copy them here, and I will have to add one more. It's going to be somewhere here. Okay, not a big deal. Perfect. Just gonna make them closer to the road, and I'm having this kind of animation, which is a simple animation, just to have things that are moving around the road while the car is moving. And I will do the same thing for some boxes in here. Let's say these are buildings. I'm just gonna have twist, and I'm gonna make it very subtle animation, so it's going to be animated from 0 to 100. I'm gonna make it 60. Okay, so it's going to be animated slowly. Okay, and I'm gonna do different ones. Okay, I just have a small issue. Okay, I just was animating all these objects before. Okay, just have to select all these trees again. It's not a problem. Just by mistake, I just animated the motion tab. As you can see, they are animated in motion in here. I'm gonna right click, filter, and I'm gonna go by current transform. I'm gonna go to the move tab, and I should not have any animation on the move, as you can see. So I'm gonna delete these move. I don't want to have movement, just have to still this one. So I'm just gonna delete this. So everything will be wobbling in its place, and this house or this box is going to be animated here. And now I can just copy this house to be here, change its color. Okay, and I'm gonna change its size. So I'm just gonna go to the box, I'm gonna make it thinner and shorter. Okay, and the same thing I'm gonna do for this. I'm gonna copy it again, I'm gonna place it here, maybe here, and I'm gonna place this here. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the camera, I'm gonna play. As you can see, the trees are moving, the houses are moving. Technically I'm inside the house now, so everything is moving and the camera is rotating. I did a link between the camera, the curve where the camera is rotating, and the car. And I did another link for the wheels that are rotating also with the car, as you can see. I did an animation on the wobbly of these. So I did an animation on twist, and I did an animation on bend in my case. Okay, what if I want to do animation on some other things? For example, maybe whatever. Let's say I want to have some kind of wipers on this, and I want to animate them. That's going to be easy. So I'm just gonna create a box. It's fine. I'm not gonna make it high end. Okay, I'm just gonna do it by default. Okay, I'm just gonna see it from the side, so it's going to be rotated nicely, something like that. Okay, I'm just gonna scale it down, make sure it's scaling. I'm gonna scale it down. That's it. It's gonna make it simple. Okay, and I'm gonna make it black. Okay, so now what's going to happen? It's going to have one wiper, for example, and it's going to be wiping this way. Now, as you can see, the rotation of the axe is not good, so it's going to be penetrating the glass. I need this orientation to be different. So instead of going view for the reference coordinates, I'm just going to go locally, and as you can see, it just bend it down, so now I can move this that way. Perfect. So now I think this is good. I can make it a bit taller, something like that. Now I'm just going to animate this. Okay, but before animating, I'm going to link it so it will move with the car. Okay, and now on 0, so it's going to start from here. Let's do it 80. Okay, auto key, and on 20, I'm going to move it to the other side. So it's going to be something like that. Okay, definitely I can just copy this and do it more and more and more. So now if I go, let's go to the camera, play. As you can see, the wiper is going on. Okay, definitely I can go forever if I want. I just can go all the way till the end. Now, so you can see the wipers are going all the way. Okay, just want to make sure that my this building is just heading in the way. Just gonna move it backward or maybe move it away. It's not a big deal. So that's it. As you can see, the wipers is going to be moving all the time. So I'm rotating the wipers. I'm moving the car. I'm moving and wobbling the trees, and I can make the scene more complicated, definitely, and make it more interesting. But it's going to take more time, but the basics is there.